It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chili Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast. On this, the third day of February, coming to you from Le Havre, France. A couple things to touch on this morning, folks. One, the Wi-Fi signal is wonky. No guarantees today. It was been behaving rather well until the last 30 minutes or so, and it's really started breaking up and spotting, and not sure what's causing it. Okay, so this is our first port of call on the cruise back on the Bliss. Bring you up to date a little bit on what's been going on with the Chili Cruise family. Last night, John and his cousin, Luann, and Sonny, and Hot Air Tom and I went to Love Bistro. John and I had breakfast this morning. Luann, Sonny, and Hot Air Tom board, and the signal just went out again, but it came back. It was cold, like 31 degrees cold, and foggy. I mean, and it looks like the signal went out again. It's back now. It might liable to be that way the whole show, folks. But anyway, tonight, Hot Air Tom and I are going to Q, which is the barbecue place. Everybody's kind of on their own tonight. We've been having a good time. Really good time. Of course, for me personally, sailing with John, I met him for lunch today. It's just such a blessing to finally get some time together. We got a good start to the cruise, no doubt about it. Wonky weather, yes. Wonky Wi-Fi, yes. But that's okay. The food last night was excellent, by the way, at La Bistro. Usually is. I had a steak. And it melted in your mouth. It was so good. All right, so currently, Hot Air Tom is naked. Actually, Hot Air Tom is either at the spa or getting an acupuncture treatment. Both of those things are happening while I'm doing the show today. Guess he didn't want to be here for the show, so he scheduled weird things. I'm sticking with it no matter what. Sorry about that, Cindy. All right, so I guess I could do the regular intro, couldn't I, today? Welcome to today's show. And the show was sponsored by US, the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chili Cruises. Coming to you live from the Norwegian Bliss. We do have some news this morning. Wasn't the greatest news day in the world. We do have 4 or 5 stories. Carnival moves up more departure times, like a lot. Song of America scrapped. Holland America offers 5 new legendary cruises. I promise you, folks, one of these days, somehow, some way, I'm going to find money to go on one of those legendary cruises. Sky Princess battles an outbreak. And Carnival to sail from Melbourne. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Carrot Cake Day. Well, you know, they have carrot cakes on cruises, and they're pretty good. This day in history, in 1863, Samuel Clemens uses the pen name Mark Twain for the first time. All right. Good for Samuel Clemens. I wonder if he wrote a bunch of other stuff before Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I know he wrote a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember what kind of order it was in. Anyway, great writer. If you listen by the podcast, you can always access the podcast by my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. All the big guys tune in: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast. So, do I have any announcements to make? I don't think. Wednesday's show, we're going to be Wednesday Vigo tomorrow. We might be in Lisbon. I can't even remember what days or what on this cruise. My mind's still a muddle from France. Anyway, let's assume that Wednesday's going to be a normal show, normal time. And if it's not, I'll change it. That's all. But yeah, I'm going to assume that Wednesday will be a go off like normal. Anyway, we start getting some time back, thankfully. Right now we're at 6 hours difference. We get 1 hour back. I believe it's tonight, and then we start getting, one back every day or every other day until we get back to Eastern Standard Time. All right, so I'll be back with a couple news stories after a quick break from one of our lovely sponsors here on Chili's Cruises. Okay, guys, let's see where we are now. First story from the day comes from Carnival. Guests booked on more than 200 upcoming Carnival cruise line voyages, some just a month away, have now been informed that their ship will be departed from its home port earlier than originally planned. The two ships impacted are Mardi Gras and Carnival Horizon. At the same time, a popular West Coast ship is also moving up the set sail time for more than 100 upcoming cruises. The impacted ship is the Carnival Firenze, one of Carnival's unique Carnival Fun Italian-style vessels, currently home ported year-round at Long Beach, California. Guests have been informed that they will be setting sail 30 minutes earlier than previously scheduled. No sound reason has been given for these changes by Carnival. The biggest weekend in sports is nearly here. Are you lucky enough to be heading to New Orleans for the big game? If you or a loved one requires a mobility scooter or wheelchair rental during your stay, call Scoot Around 888-441-7575 or reserve online. New Orleans mobility rentals are 15% off until February the 14th, 2025. Call today, SRN 11137. First introduced as Song of America, the now ex-Royal Caribbean cruise ship has an impressive 40 plus years of cruising under her belt with a variety of different cruise lines. Most recently, the Celestial Olympia is headed to the scrapyard. Holland America Line has announced 5 new legendary voyages that will offer in-depth visits to Bora Bora, Alaska, Hawaii, and the Mediterranean. These new cruises range from 27 to 45 days in length and offer extended visits to some of the most desirable vacation spots in the world. Holland American Line will sail 2 epic 35-day cruises from San Diego on February the 13th, 2027. Koningsdam will sail an 11-port cruise to the South Pacific that spends 120 hours in the French Polynesia. On October 15th, 2026, Zaandam will depart on a cruise that visits 14 ports in Hawaii, the South Pacific, and a rare late-night stop in Bora Bora. In September 2026, the cruise line will offer a legendary Glacier and Volcanoes cruise that visits both Alaska and Hawaii on a 4-week cruise. One of Holland America's most popular cruises is returning, a round-trip voyage from New York that visits the Mediterranean. This 45-day cruise will visit 21 ports in 12 countries. It will have an overnight visit in Alexandria, Egypt, and an extended stay in Istanbul. The Great Bear Rainforest, this 28-day cruise on Noordam from Seattle on June the 7th, 2026, will cross the Arctic Circle for summer solstice. This extended cruise features 13 port visits in Canada and Alaska. Remote ports include Nome and Dutch Harbor, and the ship will overnight in Anchorage. If you're interested in any of these legendary cruises, just give me a call, 434-258-9264 for Holland America Legendary Voyages. One thing that I failed to mention at the beginning of the show is what I did today. I actually got some pretty good work done. After John and I had breakfast this morning, everybody else had to leave early on excursions. I mean, I left the ship at 7 o'clock. Work. First thing I did was a live. I know that's ridiculously early for most of you folks back home, but I did a live tour of the casino here on the Norwegian Bliss, and converted that into a video. So some of you might have caught it live or one of the replays on Facebook, or you can catch the video, which is up from the live broadcast. Dry dock report, which basically went around the major changes and in the dry dock and filmed and reported on them. And it's done and edited. However, I'm having trouble getting it uploaded. So hopefully sometime tonight, when maybe there's a little less traffic, I can get it up and it'll be there at least by tomorrow. But because a lot of people want to know, well, what all happened in the dry dock. So we're going to share it. It's a pretty good story. So that's what I did today on both things. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code CHILI for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com. Sky Princess has been battling a gastrointestinal outbreak on a back-to-back cruise in the Caribbean. Guests on board were informed of the illness outbreak through announcements just 2 days after setting sail. Travelers were urged to be diligent about proper and frequent hand washing and to report any symptoms. Furthermore, as the ship was docked in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, it underwent a comprehensive ship-wide cleaning and disinfection program that included stripping of all stateroom linens and other strong measures. Guests were asked to disembark the ship and enjoy their time in Jamaica, or else be prepared to vacate their stateroom when requested so the cleaning could proceed with efficiency. Now, Sky Princess is once again being deep cleaned during her turnabout day in Fort Lauderdale. At this time, there's been no official report of the Sky Princess outbreak to the U.S. Center for Disease Control. The report may be in progress, or it may be that the number of cases being reported aboard the ship do not yet meet the threshold for such a report. However, Sky Princess is working hard to keep things under control. Carnival Cruise Line will offer a short cruise season out of Melbourne in early 2027, the company revealed in a social media update. After joining the company's fleet this March, the Carnival Adventure will reposition to the home port in late March for a series of 2 to 6 night cruises. For its first cruise from Melbourne, the 2,600 guest ship is set to offer a 6-night itinerary starting March 24th, 2027. Starting on April 9th, 2027, the vessel resumes its regular schedule of 2 to 12-night cruises departing from Sydney. Before arriving in Melbourne, the Carnival Adventure is also scheduled to offer Carnival's first ever round-trip cruise out of Singapore. Be on one of the first MSC ships to go to Alaska when we sail May 25th, 2026 on the MSC Poesia round trip from Seattle. 7 nights going to Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point, Juneau, and Tracy Arm Fjord at a stop in Victoria, Canada on the way back to Seattle. Inside cabin start at $849 per person, balcony from $1289 per person. The MSC Poesia going to Alaska. Why not join us? I promise you we'll have a great time. Just call me, 434-258-9264, and we'll cruise with Chili to Alaska. All right, that's going to end the news portion of today's show. Let's see. Junior's with us. Good morning, Junior. Joanne's here. Hello from Odyssey. Mike says, good day to everyone. There's Steve from Kentucky. Mike says, Joanne, is that Villa V Odyssey on a 4-year cruise? Now, I happen to know, Mike, it's not. Nikki says, hi. Hi, Nikki. Kenneth's with us. Hey, guys. Good morning. I see Tom did his whining on the ship from before. Yeah, I did. I filmed it. The major things, teppanyaki has expanded. They took out Coco's, which was the chocolatier, and Crepe House. And it's now, they've added a couple of the teppanyaki stations, which are, they have a glass wall to the main walkway. So you'll actually be able to see the guys doing their performance in for the folks that'll be eating shortly. So that part is nice. One of the things I'm disappointed with was they took the Lobos out and expanded Cagney's. So Cagney's now is the whole part of the back end of the ship on deck 8. Yeah, deck 8. The observation lounge is still huge, and it's still plenty of seating and lovely views. But I hate seeing them lose that much of it, but oh well. Our cabin, the only thing that changed, we got new mattresses. I didn't think anything was wrong with the old mattresses. The things that people were worrying about changing the carpets, where they get rid of the fish in the carpet so they know what direction the ship's going by looking at the carpet. Now that all stayed the same. Let's see what else was there. Those are the major. And get it uploaded just to totally answer that question. A thorough. Emily's here popping in. She says Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. A little bit of snow removal. Yeah, well. Emily says hot air. Oh, she must have seen the naked picture. Putting my phone down somewhere. She put her phone down? That's not good, Emily. There's Todd, says good morning, everyone. Kenneth says, Chili, did they get rid of Moderno? We didn't have a Moderno on the Bliss. So that wasn't in the cards. They did change. Ocean Blue is now Palomar. It's primarily rebranding, some menu changes, but it's more rebranding than anything. That's what's coming to mind. There might be some other stuff, but yeah, that's the highlights. How's your chair doing with all the miles and different terrains? The chair does fine, Todd. It's sturdy. It'll take a lot. Some of the subways and trains that I got on and off of scared the bejesus out of me, but the chair did fine. So yeah, it's you can't. I mean, it's not a cheap chair, no doubt about that. But you can't beat the quality that they put into these chairs. It's just amazing. It really is. The sun is melting our snow from last night. Oh, it hasn't melted the snow here yet, Emily. There's not any snow here, Emily. There's Roger from Jacksonville. Hi, Roger. Joanne says, currently in St. Lucia. Good for you, Joanne. I meant that I'm putting my phone down to listen while got your drift. catch that drift. Okay. Emily's out getting her exercise in the snow. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I get the show processed, I hope, with this wonky Wi-Fi signal, and try to get the podcast up. After his acupuncture. So, Katie says catching you on her lunch. Well, Katie, you know I always appreciate that. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, chilly chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chili's Cruises.